is it wrong to, you know, dub Errol the true Spence, the king of all kings of the welterweight division? Is it wrong to dub Errol Spence as a pound for pound fighter when Teddy Atlas, you know, predicted this prophecy about a year ago? And it's really split because he has a bromance with Keith Thurman. He's really split down the middle on that fight as well. He was talking about it before it even happened. He knew, you know, that Errol Spence would tear Kell Brook a new one. It's your boy CJ Goodfella back with the boxing clinic. This is like straight improv. I don't get it's a lot of thought. Most of my videos are just straight improv, but I don't know, man. You know, as far as, you know, he got 18, 19, 20 fights. You know, he had one meaningful fight with Kell Brook. You know, he made a once beaten fighter in Leonard Bundu easy work when, you know, Keith Thurman made it look harder than what it had to be. Even though Bundu labeled, you know, Thurman the winner of that fight. He did fight Algeria as well. Nobody has stopped him like that. So there's some concrete evidence there that he's probably a different breed of fighter and some cross, you know, mutual opponents matchups. He has all the tools to be. But ranking him number one, he's ranked on number 3 on a lot of people's board. I mean, on a lot of major media outlets board as far as Pacquiao, Thurman, and then him. But I can see him obliterating both of them and anybody else in that division as well. And he's a very smart guy. I was watching Doctor's Boxing Nation. He was in the Mayweather gym with the African dude who's very smart. I think he was a former pro boxer, and he was talking about the adjustments that Kell Brook made. That Errol Spence made with Kell Brook, while Kell Brook wasn't able to hold anymore. And he explained that basically Errol varied his angles and used different angles, and basically laid body shots under Kell Brook where he couldn't reach out and clinch anymore. He made an adjustment. In those adjustments that, you know, some people don't catch, like myself, or on Showtime right away. You go back and look at the tape, and, you know, he's a very smart fighter. He might not box as a smart boxer like people would think, like Mayweather, use his feet, you know, hit and not get hit. He's willing to, you know, stand in the heat and dish out, you know, more heat than you can take. You know, that's what he's willing to do. And I think I have no problem labeling him the best welterweight. You know, I don't want to jump the gun on the kid, but if you look at Keith Thurman's resume, you know, even though he's been fighting on the top level for a long time, for a little bit longer than Errol, it's not all that concrete because a lot of guys wouldn't fight him as well. You know, Diego Chavez, that's one of the most his underrated fights. That was a tough fight. It told me a lot about him. Soto Karass kind of buzzed him a little bit. I didn't overreact like a lot of people did. Guerrero was a good fight, but he was a career super featherweight or a lightweight or some shit like that. You know, Sean Porter, okay. I think Errol Spence will knock out Sean Porter, or at least beat his ass into a pulp. I think Sean Porter is just a second-tier welterweight that's just, you know, not first-tier material. However you want to cut it out. He's very one-dimensional, and he's very, one-dimensional. He's probably the most one-dimensional boxer in the welterweight division. No knock on him, but that one dimension gives a lot of people problems. But, you know, Danny Garcia, he's a former junior welterweight, a former damn near undisputed lineal, you know, junior welterweight, but he couldn't cut the ring off. I would favor Earl in all those fights, you know, all the fights, you know, and I'm probably going to say it. I'm not sure I'm gonna pick between him and Earl. I keep it real. Keith and Earl, I don't know who I'm gonna pick. But I wouldn't have a problem with people saying that Earl is the best welterweight. You know, I wouldn't personally come out and basically stand on the Empire State Building and say that, you know, he's the best welterweight. But he's amongst one or two. And if you like to Keith Thurman's body of work and his, you know, short, you know, span of fighting against good competition, then, you know, I will not argue that on there. And you got basically a spoonful of taste of Errol Spence in his competition. You know, I can't argue with that. But by the looks of it and the pedigree of Errol Spence, I probably wouldn't argue up and down about that. I'd be like, okay, wait and see. I can't argue on him being the best welterweight. You know, that's just my opinion on that. Excuse the background voice in the motherfucking porch. But I wouldn't fight you on that. I won't have no problem with you if you said that Errol was the best welterweight right now. I wouldn't fight you. If you said Keith was the best welterweight, I wouldn't fight you. Pacquiao, I wouldn't fight you. But he's not. As far as him, he's not even in the discussion. It's 1-2, and everybody else is just a step below the rest. But we gone.